Students with a strong interest in specific areas are highly motivated to succeed in that area, and the child's interest appears to be long-lasting. That is certainly what every teacher should want for their students. As teachers, we can use that interest to develop motivation. We know that motivation is critical for learning, and students cannot learn if he's not motivated to do so. However, the good news is motivation can be learned. Welcome to Ruthsstraighttalk, the channel designed to help you, your students, and your children live fuller lives, become lifelong learners, and grow into the awesome human beings you were designed to be. I'm Cynthia Ruth. In this video, I will share with you several ways to motivate your language arts students. I will explain several outstanding strategies to help them stay engaged and excel academically. Also, don't miss my bonus strategy at the end of this video. So if this video is for you, let's get right to it. So here are some strategies to help your language arts students excel and stay motivated. Number 1, break lectures often. Research suggests that for every 10 minutes of instruction, a teacher should allow 2 minutes for students to process and respond. So after 10 minutes, the teacher should pause and allow students to write down one question they have about the topic being covered. The student can then consult with their peers next to them for the next 2 or 3 minutes. After the next 10 minutes of lecture, have students write down a fact that they had learned in the last 10 minutes. Again, discuss the content with classmates, and at the end of the lesson, the teacher should make sure that they have enough time to answer the remaining questions. Number 2, reading comprehension. In a reading comprehension class, you can set up a lesson where the students categorize types of comprehension questions. This should be led to a different opinion about the categories, and students should begin a debate. Instead of just giving them the right answer, the teacher should facilitate the debate. When the debate is over, the students should have a pretty good understanding of the concept because of the good discussion and the sense of ownership that they had. The students will love it, and the exercise will be very motivating. Number 3, a reading marathon. This strategy is especially useful for language arts literature block classes. Groups of 4 students sit around a table and decide to do one of the following options. Number 1, each student in the group reads the same book. Number 2, each student in the group reads a different book by the same author. Number 3, each student in the group reads a different book of the same genre. And then number 4, each student in the group reads a different book. After reading, they have a roundtable discussion about the books they have read. The teacher then passes out literary questions such as what is the plot, who are the characters, the theme, etc., and are presented to groups in a game format using a spinning wheel or a dice, or just randomly choosing students. Number 4, problem-based learning. Break the class into small groups, say 3 to 4 students, to determine their own solutions to a teacher-suggested or even a student-solicited issue. For example, should school go to 4 days a week? Or what would it take to have a human colony on Mars? Or what cultural problems would Romeo and Juliet have if they lived in our society today? and other different questions like that. Students then develop their own ideas for a homework assignment based on what they studied in the class. Finally, students will publicly share their different thinking processes behind solving the same problem or a similar one. The teacher could extend learning by asking the question, "What is going on here?" Or after a student's response, continue with, "What do you see that makes you say this?" Number 5, grab students' attention while teaching prefixes. Teaching prefixes is a good investment of teaching time for several reasons. First, a large percentage of words use a relatively small groups of prefixes. For example, knowing the prefix on, UN, can help students understand words such as unlike, uncomfortable, unhappy, unload, and unlock, to name just a few. Also, prefixes tend to be consistently spelled correctly at the beginning of the word, unlike suffixes that come at the end of the word. Present the prefixes in isolation and provide 4 words. The teacher uses the prefix re, R-E, with the examples of reread, rethink, reuse, and return. Step number 2, define the prefix. The prefix re, means again or back. Number 3, step 3, use the words in sentences. For example, the boys had to redo the assignment, or she had to retie the bow that came loose. Another example is, I can reuse the container to store my old toys. Another example, I must return the game that I borrowed from John. Step 4, define the words. Redo means to do again. Retie means to tie again. Reuse means to use again. And return means to give something back. The teacher can encourage students to find other words with the prefix re, R-E, prefix, and have them start a vocabulary notebook. The bonus strategy is to stop and think. This strategy encourages engagement throughout the reading of a text. They also encourage students to dive deeper into the text. Instead of simply skimming a text, students are challenged to interpret and analyze it. In the stop and think strategy, students can use programs such as Google Docs to interact with the text. For example, teachers can share a document with their students with the prompt included. Students can use the comment feature to respond to each of the prompts. Another online tool that can be used with this strategy is called Seesaw, which provides many different outlets for communication and collaboration. Prompts can be shared throughout this program for students to analyze and record their responses with written text, pictures, or audio. Teachers across content areas are being encouraged to implement effective literary strategies throughout their instructions. Stop and think can be used in classes of all levels and content areas. So there you have it, several strategies to help your language arts students stay motivated. If this video has helped you, please leave me a comment at the bottom of the screen. Also, if you have a story, a tip, a strategy, a question, or just some advice that you would like me to share with my audiences, please also leave me a comment at the bottom of the screen. Click on these videos above for more awesome information on education and parenting. As always, it is wonderful to have you visit with us at Ruthsstraighttalk.com. It has been a pleasure. Thank you and happy learning. Goodbye.